Hey guys, I'm coming to you with a quick video, and the video is actually sad. It is about Wendy Williams and Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Jr., saying that he's afraid that his mother is near death. Okay, he's saying that the vultures that are currently around his mother, they can care less about her health because they're trying to tap into her wealth. And the only reason, because Kevin Jr. stays quiet, the only reason why he's speaking out, hoping that somebody somewhere will wake up and realize that these people around his mother do not care about her at all and help him help his mother before it's too late. Now we're going to get into this right after this video. Hey guys, we're gonna get right into this article that Wendy Williams' son did, Kevin Jr. And you know what? Listen, I never seen Kevin Jr. with his hair out. Nice looking kid, great picture, a good mix of his mom and his dad. And he's only 22 years old. And to be 22 and have to watch your mother go through this is super sad. And my heart breaks for him, okay? Absolutely broken. So he said his mother needs help. He said she needs help. Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Jr., fears mom is near death and blames the teen for a spiral as he breaks his silence in his first interview. Okay? Wendy Williams' only son, Kevin Jr., fears his ailing mother is near death and blames her teen for her sad downward spiral, he told the U.S. Sun exclusively in his first ever interview. So this is not rumors, people. This is coming straight from Kevin Jr.'s mouth. Kevin, 22, slammed Wendy's inner circle and accused them of taking advantage of her wealth. Yeah, they are. Her fame and her inability to make sound decisions amid her battle was severe. He said severe alcoholism. So sad. Kevin said his mother's mental and physical health has been in jeopardy since being placed under guardianship last year. You know, the courts got to look into these guardianships because they're trying to help people, but these guardianships seem like they cause more harm to people than they help. Look at the Britney Spears situation. He believes that concerns over Wendy's health have been pushed aside while others around her are profiting from the projects she's involved in. Kevin told the U.S. Sun, I know there are all sorts of things happening that I know in her right mind she would never agree to. I do believe that. And Wendy Williams would never. I don't think she would ever agree to having her life put out there on display when she's not in her right state of mind. As hard as it is seeing her being taken advantage of, I know that I'm making sure she as a person is okay. That is the important thing. So he's trying to say that, you know what? I can't worry about them stealing her money right now. I just need to make sure my mom is okay. It's my mom. He's hoping that eventually she's going to realize the craziness that has been going on. He's hoping that she has some recovery. And when she has that recovery, she'll realize that, they've been trying to get me this whole time. The U.S. Sun recently exclusively reported that she was hospitalized last month in New York. which her son now also confirms. Okay. Kevin said Wendy's jeweler turned manager Will Selby contacted him in mid-May to tell him that his mother was in the hospital. Kevin claimed it was the first time he heard from Will, who he often calls the jeweler, in several months. Okay. So you're a jewelry maker, and now you all of a sudden you're a manager too, and the only person you manage is Wendy. Come on, guys, make this make sense. Kevin said Will called to tell me she was in the hospital and added that the last time they spoke before that was the end of last year. So he last saw his mother the end of last year, and then he had to find out from Will that his mom was in the hospital. He said at the time of our interview, Kevin claimed that no one from Wendy's team, her guardianship, or the court that holds her guardianship case had told him that Wendy had been released from the hospital. So they told him she was in the hospital, but they didn't tell him when she got out. He also said no one had updated him to let him know that she had allegedly moved out of New York. Wendy's rep Sean gave a statement to another outlet on May 20th, following the U.S. Sun's original report that Wendy was in the hospital in New York. I can confirm that Wendy is not in the hospital as reported. I'll also confirm she is not in New York, Sean said at the time. Wendy bowed out of her scheduled speaking engagement on May 20th at the Atlanta Women's Expo, days before the event, due to her apparent declining health. So her son is very concerned. Kevin expressed his concern about the people around Wendy presently who continue to profit off of her. What's been made more important by the people around her is that while her health may not be great, she needs to keep on earning income. And in my opinion, that should not be a priority at all. And whoever has been hired, they are taking advantage of someone who needs to get better. Facts. Kevin said his mother's health has declined since she was living with him in Florida from late 2021 to around the spring of 2022. And I do believe she was getting better during that time period. And once she left, that was the downfall. Okay. And I think she left because she felt in her head that people down in Florida was taking advantage of her. But little did she know, she jumped out of the pot into the frying pan. Never heard that saying? You jumped out of one hot spot to another one. It's sad. And this is this Will, the jewelry guy, the jewelry maker turned manager for Wendy Williams. Okay. That's who Kevin Jr. is saying called him to let him know that his mom was in the hospital in May. And these pictures are not her best look, like at all. Okay. Under his care, he said he would take her to restaurants that didn't serve alcohol, and he had her exercising and eating healthier. He tried to help his mom. Wendy's alcoholism. He said, I know the rate that she uses alcohol isn't like a normal person, and we've spoken about it. I've said this is one thing where you do not know how to approach it normally, and that's fine. And it's gotten to the point where, yes, it could have that effect that it might be fatal because it affects her way worse than a normal person since it stays in her system, Kevin claimed. So, according to, her doctors, everything that she has going on, when she drinks alcohol, it doesn't process in her body like it processes in a normal person's body. That's another reason why she needs to stay clear of it. According to her son, who said he was in his mother's doctor's appointments when she was with him in Florida, Wendy's various ailments have a compounding effect, and her body doesn't process alcohol like the average person. There are a lot of people who are very aware that there's an issue with her drinking and how that issue may have helped, may be helped. But I think these people are taking advantage of it while allowing it to play out to make it look like they aren't causing the issue. Now, this is Wendy Williams. That's again the manager, jewelry maker, Will, who took her to his birthday party to a strip club where there's just tons of alcohol. Why would you take an alcoholic to a place where they're going to be around the element? Just 1 month before Wendy checked into rehab last year, Will took Wendy to a self-professed alcoholic to a Queens, New York strip club to celebrate his July birthday. Messy, why would you do that? Because you don't care about her. So Wendy was seen stepping out with Will and holding on to him to assist her walking in early August of 2022, days before she would check into rehab for 3 months. And I think as bad as Wendy's problem is, she probably needs to be in rehab for longer than 3 months. That's her son, Kevin Jr. again, nice looking guy. My heart breaks for him. Kevin helped care for Wendy several months in Florida through the spring of 2022 and said there weren't any troubling pictures or reports of her drinking when they were together. So he's saying, I protected my mom. Wendy spent nearly 3 months in Malibu in a Malibu rehab from August to October 2022 for her alcoholism. And Kevin said he was told his mother signed contracts either during or immediately after her stay for working arrangements with her jeweler and manager Will. Taking advantage, okay? So these people are taking advantage of her. And my thing is, where's the guardianship? Like, why would you allow somebody who's in a vulnerable state, they're in rehab, or they just got out of rehab, and you're like, oh, here you go, sign right here, let's do this, let's do that. You have all of these engagements, we're going to get you back working. Let the person breathe. Let the person attend some AA meetings first, okay? Taking advantage. They had her in a position where she was agreeing to a lot that she shouldn't have. When I heard that, that turned me off, Kevin said. I'm in trying to attempt to know what everyone's intention is around her. At first, I was like, okay, this is the team she wants to have around. But once I heard that she was agreeing to stuff around her rehab, I thought, well, okay, they're taking advantage of her. Kevin claimed that the times that his mother does go to get the help she desperately needs, people seem to swoop in and use that opportunity to get her alone. I feel like when it comes to people wanting to help her, a lot of this is coming from a stance of, okay, she's alone now. Let's try to see how we can make her act the way we want her to act, or if we can kind of control the rate at which she's handling herself. Kevin said he also believes his mother's team, they're pretty much, helping her drink. He said if they aren't providing it, they are definitely enabling a type of personality and giving her the green light to drink. I agree. You bringing her to a strip club where alcohol is, bring her to, I don't know, some spot, some restaurant like he was doing where they don't serve alcohol. After Wendy was spotted bar hopping in April, her publicist Sean released a statement calling her night out a celebration. They're just putting their hands up. When someone's hired help, it's very easy to just allow certain days to play out, he said of the statement. As much as someone may try to say that they're there for somebody, if you're being hired to be there, there's only so much you can say to that person, right? So he's trying to say, I can't talk to this team. They're being paid by Wendy. Wendy is my mom, but she's a grown woman. What am I going to say if they're the paid help? He said, I never want to shame anybody, but in terms of asking if that person is there so that my mom can be the healthiest person and have a long career, stuff like that, they aren't in it for that. He said, they are just there for the here and now, he added. I don't want any of this to come across that I am mad at anyone. So he's being careful with his words because he doesn't want anybody to claim that, he wants the money for himself. He's just being greedy. He doesn't, care about his mom. But I will say this, when Wendy was in Florida, for whatever it's worth, when she was in Florida with him and around her family, she was doing much better. They don't know the situation fully, and there are times when she does talk that she may sound coherent enough, and they may think, okay, she just wants to have fun. And for that reason, I will never have hate, even with the higher help. Everyone is just trying to take care of themselves. It is what it is, he continued. So he's trying to say his mother has moments where she's convincing, where she can probably convince anybody like she's okay. All right, she wants to have a drink, let her have a drink. But no matter how someone sounds, if they're a former drug addict or alcoholic, you don't say, okay, just have a little bit of the drug or a little bit of alcohol, and then you're going to go back to yourself. That little bit takes them right back down the rabbit hole. Now, Wendy's unscripted project, all that means is her reality show. Okay. At the end of 2022, Kevin claimed that Will had asked him if he wanted to be part of the unscripted project Wendy has been spotted filming in recent months. The jeweler reached out to me the last year, and he basically said we are planning on this project being a way that would tell the public about what's happening, and I was opposed to it. I felt like and still feel like she shouldn't be doing anything that involves putting herself in front of the camera. It goes back to putting work first and herself second. He said, I was then reapproached by production, not by Will directly, a second time, and I just said no. The 22-year-old college student has always been supported financially by his mother and had, in large part, lost that support when her financial affairs were taken over by the guardian, okay, Sabrina, in May of 2022. Turning down Will's offer to be part of the unscripted project about his mother meant he was saying no to a lucrative opportunity that could have been a financial life raft for him, he explained. They tried to offer me $25,000 to appear in the unscripted project with executive producer credit. So you know what? They knew that he needed money. But you know what? I give it to Kevin Jr. A lot of integrity, in spite of the fact that he need money. He was like, "No, I'm good. I'm not going to sit here and watch your railroad my mother and then be a part of it." Not even for the $25,000, not even for executive producer credit, which probably was going to give him even more money. Okay. And I chose not to do it for the simple fact that I just felt like however this came about was under a contract she shouldn't have agreed to for a project that wouldn't paint her in a good light. No, this project is going to be a train wreck. Remember being Bobby Brown and how that was a train wreck for him and Whitney Houston? It showed them in the worst light possible. That's what this is going to do. When asked for a comment on the various allegations against him, Wills said, you know what, no comment because half of this stuff isn't even true. Majority of this is false. If it's false, then just talk about it. When asked for further clarification, Will insisted he saw Kevin and spoke to him in April in Miami. Will claimed, I was in Miami with Kevin. I forced him to have a conversation because he seemed a little disgruntled. Okay. I spoke to him face to face, 1,000%. I was like, if there's a problem, let's talk. If there's an issue, let's have a conversation. When pushed in yet another request for a comment to expand on any additional points, Will responded, there is so much here that is inaccurate. It's really not worth me commenting. The U.S. Sun reached out to Wendy's publicist, Sean, multiple times, and she declined the comment. She declined the comment because she already know what she's doing. She dogging Wendy out. Okay? So Wendy's guardianship. Kevin also takes issue with Wendy's guardian, Sabrina. Wendy was placed in a guardianship after Wells Fargo froze her accounts and they suspected the star was a victim of financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence, according to the court papers. Okay? It's been really sad what's been allowed to happen. And ever since the court hearings ended, something just has to be brought to light about what's going on and how much people are taking in this situation. So he's pretty much saying like, yo, look at this guardianship. And I agree. Like, you know what? Look at the guardianship and how long Britney Spears was in hers and why maybe after every year, this thing at the very least should be reevaluated. And to say, okay, even if the person may need to stay in a guardianship, well, maybe somebody else needs to be over that person. In terms of who is there now, people have put other things in front of her actually healing and getting better. And unfortunately, unlike many other alcoholics, she is worth a lot of money. So he's saying she's an alcoholic that is rich. And people are going to pounce on her and take advantage of her in her vulnerable situation. Wendy's son continued. I know that Sabrina has a relationship with Will. So he's saying he's saying a lot in this interview, but kind of not really throwing it out there the way that he could. He's saying that Sabrina and Will are in cahoots. They're working together. And they're working together to steal every last penny from Wendy Williams. That's what I feel he's trying to say. Allegedly, okay? And I would assume though that they are cool with each other. This is how this was created, okay? So he's saying that Will became the manager, Serena, became the guardianship over on Wendy. So everything can go down because those two are friends and they just talk to each other, and all goes well in their favor, not Wendy Williams. And it seems like it's more about making sure he is okay. Okay. That means Will, not Wendy. I don't know what the ultimate goal is for Sabrina as a person in charge of stuff, but there have never been articles put out saying Wendy isn't okay. Okay. Wendy's son hit out Wendy's son hit out at the Guardian's handling of Wendy and her lack of communication with the Stars family. I don't feel like Sabrina has done a great job at all. I think that based on her actions, I have to assume something is going on that she's not telling me. Whether it be that she's receiving income on the side or what, but there is a lot of her pushing away of myself and everybody down here and saying that she's not giving updates. She's really vague with updates. And why would the Guardian be vague with updates with the family? Sabrina did not respond. Of course, she didn't respond. So, what is Kevin Jr.'s hope? Ultimately, Kevin insists that his mother absolutely should not have been working. She should not continue to work and she should be focusing on her health and her recovery. Kevin said, I think it is best for her to have to prioritize her health first. Nobody around her will tell her this, but she doesn't have to be working. So he's saying his mom got enough money. Why are they making her work? She needs to take a break from trying to progress her career and just be proud of what she's accomplished. And I agree. When asked if he had a plan in all of this, Wendy's son said the plan is that I'm hoping and praying that the people who are up there in New York with her right now don't lead her down the path to where something can't happen to help her. If there was a way or if there was a plan I could think of, I wouldn't be here doing this interview. So this is his last cry. I would be doing something that I could do. Kevin added that he thinks something has gone seriously wrong with the way things have been set up for Wendy in terms of what it is and what it isn't. When she was with me, none of these articles of her looking not looking well ever came out. When she got back to New York after the court hearings that started happening, and from that perspective, something has gone wrong. So he's saying that, you know what, when she was with me, all was well. She got with these people right here and all kinds of mess. She's working, she's this, and all of these bad articles are coming out. It's sad. And that's when he was back with his mom and he had her eating right, drinking, natural juices and stuff, no alcohol, and working out. Oh, Kevin Jr., you're trying, and I don't blame you. Keep trying, my brother, to help your mom. I'm going to be praying for Kevin Jr. and Wendy Williams. And I pray to God that, this alcoholism doesn't be the thing that takes Wendy Williams out. I hope that she gets this aha moment. She wakes up and at the very least turns back to her family or her son and get away from these people that, in my opinion too, they are only concerned with her working. And good gosh, if this darn reality show comes out, I think it's going to be sad to watch because I don't think it's going to show Wendy Williams in a good light at all. So listen, guys, I got a different perspective now on her son. This boy really cares about his mother. And if it was about the money, he could have simply agreed to be on this reality show, take the executive producer's credit, and get the money. Kevin Jr. cares about his mom. So my heart goes out to him. I feel differently now after reading this interview that he gave. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Sad for Wendy, still praying for her. But when her own son said he feels she's near death, I think that he really believes it. And I understand what he's saying because he's pretty much saying if she keeps going down this path of drinking the alcohol, this thing is going to take her out because her body can't even process the alcohol like regular people, in good health, body would process it. Oh, This is a sad, hot mess, guys. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll see you on the next video. Good interview, Kevin Jr. I wish you well, and I hope things turn around for the better for you, your mom, and your entire family. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.